Hey, what's up folks, how's it going this watch? Hope you guys are all doing well, and today we're going to be taking a look at the third generation Apple AirPods. Been doing a lot of testing with these for the past few weeks, specifically against the second generation AirPods, as well as what I consider to be the best budget-oriented true wireless earbuds, the Jabra Elite 3s. Now let me give you guys the footnotes in terms of what has changed significantly from the third generation coming from the second generation AirPods. Firstly, you can see that we have a new contour design, similar to what you get with the Apple AirPod Pros, but unlike the AirPod Pros, you actually don't have any earbud tips. So just like the first and second generation AirPods, you don't have any kind of silicone or rubberized tip. It's just using the plastic in-ear design, which is not great from a comfort as well as passive noise isolation sense, but it's a design that we have nonetheless. Some of the upgrades also include adaptive EQ, which automatically adjusts the frequency spectrum of the sound that you're listening to match to your ears. You also have spatial audio features, which tracks your head dynamically to simulate a surround sound environment similar to what we found on the Apple AirPod Pros. You also have the Force Touch sensor like the AirPod Pros, as well as a better sweat and water resistant with official IPX4 certification, as well as a longer battery life at 6 hours for the earbuds and 30 hours with the wireless charging case. Moreover, the only real major thing that's missing from the third generation AirPods that would make it pretty much the same as the Pro version is the active noise cancellation and transparency mode, which is not available on the third generation. Now, besides the features that we just listed off, there's really no difference between the second gen and third gen from an audio listening standpoint. They both have the same frequency spectrum in terms of a response rate from a bass, mid, treble standpoint. They also have the same microphone configuration with dual beam foaming microphones facing down towards your mouth. Obviously, on the third gen, they're inward facing, so they should possibly give you a little bit better pickup, but we'll listen to that in our microphone test later on in this video. But generally, the internal fundamental technology on the third gen is the same as the second gen. Now let's move over and talk about the Jabra Elite 3s. For a long time, Jabra has been making some killer in-ear wireless headphones and are one of my favorite companies and kind of my go-to from a day-to-day basis in terms of true wireless earbuds. They offer exceptional audio quality for the most part, and in fact, the Elite 3s sound very similar to the 75Ts. They're kind of mainstream, middle-of-the-road true wireless earbuds, with the exception that they don't have active noise cancellation, but they do have what Jabra calls their hear-through or pass-through mode, which is kind of a transparency mode, something not offered on the third and second generation AirPods. And since the Elite 3s utilize different earbud tip sizes, you could adjust the size of the tip to match your ear, which is going to be great in terms of an audio perspective, since you're going to get better overall bass response as well as better passive noise cancellation. Additionally, I'm a huge fan of the Danish-inspired minimalistic design that the Elite 3s utilize. They sit very flush to your ears, are ultra compact and contoured enough to fit inside your ears for a prolonged period of time without any major issues of discomfort, fatigue, etc. And with the contoured design, they fit very securely in the ear, so you won't have to worry about them falling out no matter what kind of activities you're going to go through. Additionally, from a durability standpoint, you have IP55 certification on the Elite 3s, so that means dust and water resistance on all direction, versus IPX4 on the third gen AirPods means that it's rated for splash and liquid resistance from all directions, including sweat, rain, etc., but not for solid particles such as dust. Furthermore, in terms of audio quality, we have a 6mm driver inside the Elite 3s with a frequency response of 20 to 20,000 Hz, which is technically similar to the response that you get with the AirPods, but what you will notice when actually listening to the Elite 3s is they have a much more powerful bass response with a deeper low-end, mid-range frequencies, as well as a decent amount of upper-end clarity on the higher-end spectrum. However, the general definition of the mid-range is kind of lacking, especially compared to the AirPods, which actually do a great job of reproducing the human voice quite well with a decent amount of realism and clarity. However, with some slight EQ tweaks using the Sound Plus app, you can get the Elite 3s to sound fairly similar, but if you do listen to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts and things like that, you might actually prefer the sound of the AirPods. You're just going to have to do a little compare and contrast to see which sounds better to your ears. For me personally, I would still probably prefer the sound of the Elite 3s due to the fact that you have that better bass response, and I'm I'm predominantly a music listener myself. Now in terms of the microphone configuration on the Elite 3s, we have dual microphones on both left-right earbuds, and obviously they're embedded inside. They don't have a stem where you get a better microphone pickup, but let's actually do a side-by-side comparison with the second and third generation AirPods to see how they sound. Now, in terms of how the microphones sound on the third generation AirPods, we're actually shooting with the new generation MacBook Pro. This is the 1080p FaceTime camera. And right now you're listening to the microphone out of the second generation AirPods. We'll move over to the third gen to see how those sound. Okay, so now we've switched over to the third generation AirPods, and as you can see, the stem is definitely not as long, but it's still very similar microphone configuration. They're dual beam foaming microphones, but they're inward facing, much like the AirPod Pros. So the audio quality coming out of the microphones should be very similar in terms of what you get with the AirPod Pros on the third gen. Okay, so we've now switched over to the Jabra Elite 3s. Now, since they don't have a stem or an extended microphone design, the overall call quality and overall distortion levels are a little bit higher on the voice capturing capabilities compared to the second gen and third generation AirPods. Even though the Jabras actually have a dual microphone configuration, similar frequency spectrum capturing capabilities down to about 8 to 100 hertz. They still don't sound as good. The distortion levels are higher. It sounds like it's more muffled and a little bit more compressed, even though we're recording at the same bit rate. So if you do a lot of video conferencing and things like that, I still think that the AirPods have an edge up compared to the Jabras. Now move forward, let's talk about battery life. On the Elite 3s, you're looking at 7 hours for the earbuds themselves and 28 hours with the charging case. The charging case charges through USB-C. There's unfortunately no wireless charging, but it is enabled with fast charging, and 10 minutes time will get you about 1 hour of listening experience, and it takes about 3.5 hours for a full charge. Comparatively with the second gen AirPods, you got 5 hours on the earbuds, 24 hours with the charging case. The third generation gives you 6 hours on the earbuds and 30 hours with the charging case. And both versions of the Apple AirPod cases come with Qi wireless charging enabled. And with the third gen, you additionally get MagSafe charging. Last, let's talk about the price point and overall value. The MSRP of the third gen AirPods retails for about $180. You can sometimes find them on sale for about $150 if you're lucky. The second generation AirPods range from $129, and sometimes they're on sale on Amazon for as low as $80. And the Jabra Elite 3s range from $100 down to $79. So from a pure price and value perspective, I think you get the most bang for the dollar with the Jabra Elite 3s, especially from a listening experience. If you listen to a lot of music, consume a lot of audio content on a day-to-day basis, and require a awesome battery life, I definitely think they're probably the best under $100 true wireless earbuds that you can get out right now. Obviously, if you're looking for something to do a lot of video conferencing with, something that has a good built-in microphone, certainly the AirPods really shine in that department. But really, on that, guys, that's really it for this video. I'd definitely love to know what you guys think is the best true wireless earbud that is out there, kind of the lower mid-range tier. And currently I'm actually working on a project talking about the best true wireless earbuds that you can get right now for under $100. So if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to do so. Make sure you have post notifications turned on. Check out the description down below for more details about everything we've talked about, and a big thank you to your subscription and your continuing support. We'll see you real soon in the next one. Take care.